Assalamualaikum. Today I'm going to discuss about CFA versus ACCA. Well, basically though both are certifications and these are not degrees like you do bachelor's, you do masters, you do MBA. So those are actually degrees. And CFA and ACCA are actually certifications for your skills that you have. But both of these have global recognition. Besides that, ACCA is not well recognized in USA because USA follows its own accounting principle. Those are actually GAAP, generally accepted accounting principle, whereas the ACCA curriculum focuses on IAS and IFRS, which are international accounting standards and international financial reporting standards. So basically the difference between GAAP and IAS are not that big. After all, they are standards, and standards cannot be that much vary. But still, ACCA people have like more job market around the world besides USA, I believe, as per my knowledge. Now coming towards the major core difference between the ACCA and the CFA. Well, the CFA is related to finance people, those people who like to, who have actually studied some financial courses. They might know what finance is like, calculating IRR, payback, and, projecting, forecasting, making financial models for new projects, forecasting cash flows, you know. So those kind of stuff are done in CFA, like dealing for derivatives, stock market, the foreign exchange market, and all the banking stuff, taking loans, how much loan is required, should we take loan versus, should we issue more debt rather issuing equity for a new project. So these decisions are done by a CFA, which is Chartered Financial Analyst, whereas in ACCA person, he's been taught some of the finance but not everything, like derivatives and stock market are not touched in ACCA because the ACCA curriculum focuses on the accounting, and it also involves cost accounting, management accounting. So ACCA actually grooms you better in a way that it touches a lot of parts, as we know that ACCA has 13 exams, 13 almost 13 exams, whereas CFA has only 3 exams. So from this we can know that the you know the curriculum, well, so far I believe that the curriculum for both is almost like, same sort, like that, we just got 3 exams, so we are being tested upon less subjects or areas. Well, the areas are both, it depends upon your interest, that where you are more inclined. Are you an accounting person or are you a finance person? You can only tell this when you're gonna study both up to basic certain level, because at the end of the day, either it is finance or accounting, you need to have basics for both to be flourish or to do some work in either field of finance or accounting. You have to know some of the basic finance principles to be a good accountant, and vice versa. You have to be, you have to know some basic principle for accounting. You need to know how balance sheets are structured, how P&L is made, and how to study financial statements of different companies. Then you are going to be a good financial analyst. So if you are actually bad at that stuff, so yeah, you don't need to be good at learning the standards that are used in accounting for finance, but still you need to know that according to what standard this is being done. And like, in finance we focus cash flows, so those cash flows are actually not being audited by any auditor or the accounting principles. They just tell you profit or loss, they just tell you different things, they just not tell you market value of different assets they own, different bonds they own. It is the financial, it is the CFA person job to analyze what's the market value of different heads or different bonds, different share, or the true intrinsic price of share for a company. So with regard to, now coming towards the fee for both, I believe that, yeah, CFA is a bit less expensive than ACCA. You can always check that by logging into a, watching some, you know written blog, because these pieces are changing every year. And it also depends whether you are going to take tuitions or not. If you are going to pay for high cost tuition fees to learn, for exam, to learn how to attempt exams, then obviously it's going to cost a lot more. CFA is considering the aspect of that, global recognition. So the CFA is well recognized in USA as well as all around the world. And wherever you go Middle East, you go into Asia, you go into Europe, you go into USA, America, CFA is well recognized. ACCA is, however, not that much recognized in USA. And coming towards what's next, like if you do if you do ACCA, then you might have to do like CPA, certified public accountant, and other sort of things. For if you are moving towards auditor side, then you might have to, get a certificate for being an auditor, because ACCA is not focused on some niche or some particular area, whereas CFA is focused on the financial aspects. Yeah, in the last years, in CFA they give you option that whether you want to go into investments, or you want to go into this side of finance or that side of finance. But ACCA is not that specific, although ACCA also gives, like, in the last years, you give you choice that whether you want to give the last 3 or 4 paper of this topic or on some other topic. So they gave you option, but CFA is like more focused. And once you do the CFA, it's like I believe so far that you don't have to do some other certifications. To enroll into ACCA, you just need to complete almost 12 years of education if you are in O level or FSC. So whereas for CFA you need to have a minimum of 16 years of education, or you must be in the last final year of your graduation. The graduation depends where from country to country. In 2 years of graduation, I believe, then you might have to, check that. But for 4 years graduation, you can apply for CFA level 1 exam in your last year of graduation. Although I have seen people who are doing chartered accountancy and like who are doing ACCA and then they are moving towards CFA. So those people who have like professional work experience, or they have spent actually a lot of time of their life in doing something, they can actually also get into admission into a CFA program. Whereas the CFA, now coming towards the pay, well, you know what you can do, CFA versus ACCA. Well, I have actually told you CFA is purely finance. It has nothing to do with accountancy. You are not going to use those I actually find those standards as boring, like the IS 41, which is related to agriculture. Yeah, it's cool, it's fine, they are standardized stuff, but those standardized stuff are now being done by the computers itself, you know so yeah, to be a good auditor, you need to have grips on all those standards, and with time that's not even difficult. But if you are like someone who don't want to just keep on thinking new things, keep on developing financial models, keep on track on the stock market going up, down, keep on thinking, oh, what's the interest rate is going to affect my company's position tomorrow. So well, ACCA is for you and accounting is for you, because those accountants have like less sort of hustle in this regard, because those are actually absolute things and their performance is actually marked on the absolute numbers, and they don't have to deal with that kind of fluctuations. And ACCA is very subjective, whereas the the CFA is very subjective, because finance is obviously subjective. I might value a company, I might believe that okay, the McDonald's worth $100 billion, or someone else came and it's not 100 billion and it's $80 billion. So in CFA both are correct, because they both have used their approaches. And in reality, what's going to be happen, like, to answer to this is, what's the marginal investor is actually paying. Maybe still that firm or company might not worth that much, but still, if someone is valuing it higher than the other investor, then he might buy it. So I hope I'm clear with this, that the difference and between the CFA and ACCA, and where you should go for. So if you have any question, please comment down. Thank you for watching the video.